All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Um, got a couple of topics to address. We'll just go ahead and get started. Alicia will have something to add later. I'm not sure if she's here. My computer is not allowing me to move anything around, but we'll go ahead and get started. Um, when we first started doing the benchmarks, we found out that more of you wanted to have those weekly updates so you guys knew where you were at. So you weren't having just a once a month surprise, here are what your benchmarks are. So we were working, Joe, Michael, and myself to send the weekly updates out. And then Alicia was sending out the actual benchmark reports for that month. Recently, just with everything that's going on, it's just been falling by the wayside, unfortunately, and it's not always getting done. So we found that it would be better to have just one update during the month and then the report from Alicia. So we'll find somewhere in the middle, whether it be bi-weekly, just to make sure it's somewhat in the middle of the month. And we'll send out a report of where you're at so far for that month. And then you'll still get the reports for from Alicia on the final numbers for the report. Um, the I haven't added it yet, but we discussed this in our hub manager meeting today. We've had a lot of questions from a lot of you on columns that begin with quotes. Some column, like religious columns, will have like a verse in the beginning, or sometimes they'll just begin with a little quote that kind of goes with whatever they're talking about that throughout the article, or sometimes more like an attention getter. I find like those outdoor columns, like "Gee gad, look at this fish I caught," or whatever it was at the quote that they started off with. We decided what we wanted that to look like, and I will get that posted on the style guide and share that out via email with all of you, so you know how to format that going forward. And then there is an announcement here from Michael, and then a couple things from Alicia. So I'll turn it over to Michael.
All right. I went over this a couple times before, but I see that we're still having a couple problems. So on print days, I've the skeletons that are available right now have a landing spot for the e-marketing ad, and we really don't want you to move that around because as soon as you move it, then the counts that we've given editors are changed, and we're having editors rewrite headlines when they don't necessarily need to. Um, Skeletons aren't the easiest things for them to deal with. It's just another thing we ask them to do. So if we can avoid having them redo work because we've moved something, that would be beneficial. If there's any reason that it doesn't fit in the place that I've provided for that, please let me know and we'll get that fixed. One thing too, I've noticed that we've went over before is that we're fixing a lot of stuff on the pages. Like subheads that are in the notes field and things like that. I understand that it's faster for you guys to fix it than it is to reach out to us, to reach out to an editor to fix that. But if you at least don't tell us, then those errors are going to keep coming and coming because nobody's kind of nipping at their heels to fix that stuff up. So even if it's faster for you to fix on the page, we can still circle back and make sure that the editor knows that it was incorrect, especially with the pod stuff now, with like ad gets formatted at the bottom or anything like that. A couple of the pod editors that I've reached out to haven't been told that stuff. So anything that you can tell us that we can reach out to other people about, fixing up the Google Docs, or, if anything's messed up when we switch over to Brightspot, that will be beneficial. And hopefully we can all get on the same page where we don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's all I got.
Okay. So the Thanksgiving schedule, we do have answers now when all the presses need things. Your team leader will be contacting you soon to let you know how your schedule will be changing. I would expect that all of you would experience some change. The short version of it is that the majority of our pubs will be going to print either Monday or pretty early on Tuesday. So we're going to shift hours to then. And then we're also going to move some hours to Sunday as well. And that does mean that we can have more people off on Wednesday and some people off on Tuesday as well. And those had previously been blacked out dates. So if those are days that you would like off, contact your manager sooner rather than later about that. You should hear in the next few days of what we need from you to get all of that done, and we'll share out the schedule as well. But just know that that's what that looks like. And I would expect for the week of Christmas and New Year's that we will have Wednesday and Thursday would be pretty busy. And then the Fridays, which would be Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, will not be terribly busy. So we are hoping to be able to allow that day off for more people than are currently scheduled off for that. We are working on figuring that one out, but that's what things look like now. We'll keep you posted on that. The other thing I wanted to mention is when you are putting mugshots in, if you're copying the name line from the details on the photo, that's fine, but make sure that it matches what's in the story. We had a pretty bad incident recently where the wrong photo was linked to a story. And so the information in the file details was correct as far as the names of the person in the mugshot, but they were not the person in the article. And the designer didn't check against the name in the article, and the proofer also did not check against the names in the article, and so it ran incorrectly. And essentially, in a story about someone who had committed a pretty serious crime, the photo was wrong. So obviously, that's not something we want to happen. Please make sure that however you're getting those name lines on, that you're making sure that they match the file details or file name and what's in the article. If you have any questions or if you're not 1000% sure that everything is correct, please make sure that you reach out to an editor, the pod editor, or ask a hub manager to help you or something so we make sure that we always have those correct. Thank you.
All right, if no one has any questions about things that we went over, now please feel free to reach out to one of the team leaders after the fact. We're going to keep it pretty short and sweet today. I'll wait another minute here to see if anyone types any questions, but otherwise, that is all we have today. So as soon as I see the clock go 4:08, boom. So if no one has any questions, we'll let you guys all go. Have a good rest of your day.